Bryant Park lately, you've probably seen the big sections of plants growing in the retention ponds on the south end of the park. No, these aren't weeds, and yes, we meant to put them there. These floating sections of plants are called floating wetland islands, and they are one of the many types of stormwater quality improvement projects the city has implemented. Floating wetlands essentially consist of a floating material with living plants that are placed within wet ponds. Excess nutrients like nitrogen and phosphorus entering the Indian River Lagoon have contributed to algae blooms and a reduction in the amount of seagrass in the lagoon. So, in an effort to reduce nutrients entering the Indian River Lagoon, the City of Titusville has completed and continues to develop and implement stormwater improvement projects all throughout the city. Excess nitrogen and phosphorus can end up in our retention ponds from things like fertilizer runoff, decaying grass clippings, leaves, and plant material. So, one way the city is removing these nutrients from stormwater that enters ponds is by installing floating wetlands. As the plants on the floating wetlands use the nitrogen and phosphorus in the water to grow, the nutrients in the water are taken up by the roots and stored in the plant tissues. Periodic harvesting of the mature plants prevents the nutrients that were taken up by the plant from re-entering the water when the plants die and decompose. This also allows for the plants to take up more nutrients while they continue to grow. While you might think the city has many opportunities to install floating wetlands, most ponds are actually privately owned and maintained. However, we have installed these floating wetlands in the majority of our ponds to reduce the amount of nutrients that will eventually enter the Indian River Lagoon. As these projects are implemented across the city, fewer algae blooms will happen, which will eventually lead to a healthier lagoon.